Today we are going to be taking a look at some of the black cards that are about to be released in the upcoming Strixhaven set. Hot dang. Strixhaven is doing some fun stuff, so I'm going to take you through some of the cards that really stand out to me. I noticed a really fun card off the bat. Is that how you say it? Right off the bat? Right off the back? Forget I said that. One card that stands out to me is Confront the Past. Really affordable right there. Really affordable with the 1 black and X number of mana. You can either return target Planeswalker card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, or remove twice X loyalty counters from target Planeswalker an opponent controls. I really like how the second statement, the second clause, says remove twice X. So you don't even have to spend the same number of mana per loyalty counter for your opponent's Planeswalker, which I think is really nifty. And it's a lesson! It's a lesson, which means all you have to do is just own it. Just really own it. And just pull it into the game. You don't even need to start with this card in your deck, so I love it right there. Surprise, surprise, there are a lot of cards with a lot of abilities to put stuff into your graveyard, which doesn't surprise me at all. One card that stands out to me is Orc Lore Mage. First of all, nice gloves. Second, his tap ability got me thinking about it too, because this one interests me. Like, I would love to just play with at least one copy of this card, because you can tap to search your library for a card, any card, and put it in your graveyard, and then shuffle. If it's an instant or sorcery card, put a +1/+1 counter on Auric Lore Mage. Now, putting instances and sorceries into your graveyard and being able to, of course, cast from your graveyard is really awesome, and you get +1/+1 counters on it. However, I got to looking, and this lets you tap to search for any card in your library, which means you can control what's going into your graveyard, which is all fine and dandy, especially when you take a look down here. I had to go all the way down here. Where is it? Oh, it's right there. Harness Infinity. Okay. Keep in mind Auric's ability. You can search your library for any card and put it into the graveyard, which means you can essentially craft your graveyard how you want it. And then if you were able to play Harness Infinity and exchange your hand in graveyard, you can play this. You can essentially get whatever cards you want from your deck, as long as it's in your deck and not a lesson pulled from outside the game. The only downside that I see with this one is that obviously if your graveyard has more than 7 cards, you're gonna have to discard. However, there are cards out there that let you have a larger hand size, if not an infinite hand size. So the fun combination that I would really love to play with if I get the chance. A color combination that I would really like to try out in Strixhaven would be white-black, because white, we noticed that there were a lot of cards that added counters to it, and I just read Tenured Inkcaster, which is only an uncommon. However, it's also fairly expensive at 5 mana for just a 2/2. However, its abilities I'm interested in, because when it enters the battlefield, you can put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, which we already saw a couple of white cards that can do the same. But also, whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it attacks, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Now, this would be another question. If you've made it thus far into the video, please, if you know the answer, feel free to leave a comment down in the description below so I can see it. But I'm curious, because I know some cards that, like the stacks. What's that one card that does something similar? Oh gosh, how am I gonna find the specific one I'm looking for? Oh, there it is. Okay, question for my viewers. When I've played with Linden, her ability stacks. So whenever a white creature you control attacks, you gain 1 life. That counts for every single white creature. So I'm curious, and this would be a question for you. Would this mean whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it attacks, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life for every creature with a counter on it? Because if that's the case, your girl's making a white-black deck. If you enjoyed this video and got some value out of it, feel free to like this video and subscribe if you would love to see more Magic the Gathering videos from me. And if you enjoy playing online, especially on Magic the Gathering Arena, feel free to come hang out with me. I go live every weekend on Twitch, every weekend that I can, and I would love to hang out with you, chill with you, and talk Magic with you. Hope to see you soon.